Cuso, and I'm back to close our show. It's been a very exciting 4 days, and it's amazing how busy we are during the 4 days. You wouldn't think that not being on site would be so much work, but it is a lot of work. We had nearly 600 people registered for workshops, so that went very well. And so the workshops are a strong part of the show. The vendors that really enjoy doing this, and of course you get to see the special exhibits. And then I guess the crown of the show is the quilt competition, the visuals for quilt competition. So I don't want to forget what that's all about. I just want to start by putting up, I think, just a couple of the top winners. I'd like you to see a couple of the top winners. The first one being the best wall quilt, and this is called "The Long Goodbye" by Leah McCormick, and Leah really captures something here that's absolutely amazing to me. It kind of brings a tear to your eye. I think everybody's almost been in that scene. And it's just a wonderful piece of work. The creativity there and the expressions on the face, and it's just tremendous. And okay, the next one up is the best mid-century modern. And we say mid-century modern. We try to emulate what would be mid 20th century modern, from the 40s through the 60s, maybe even early 70s. Sort of the modernism movement. The feel of the pottery, the feel of the paintings. If you've ever been to Moto or over to any other modern museum, that's where we're going with this. And this piece is called Piercing Pyramids, and Claire Victor certainly emulated in this what would be very, very much mid-century modern. It's a great looking quilt, and congratulations to her on the best mid-century wall quilt. Then, of course, Marge Tucker, who's a great quilter, has taken the best of show this time, and coming into the light, and there's no denying it. It's a beautiful quilt, and congratulations to Marge. So I just wanted to bring that up first before I got started here. I have some announcements. And like to talk about a few things. So I think that, we don't want to lose sight of what this is all about. And this is all about the quilts and creating. It's all about creating. So let me just thank everybody that entered the quilt competition, and the judges, and everybody that handled the competition. My wife, Terry, Mary Claire Moyer, and who's been coming in and helping us. So we've had a couple of great people helping us, take care of the competitions. Terry in particular took care of the registrations. So I want to have a chance to thank them. All right, I wanted to move on to something. I try to read as much as I can, but sometimes I'm just too busy. But I try to read the New York Times, and there's a writer by the name of David Leonhardt, who writes for the New York Times. And back, I believe it was April 19th, he put up a very interesting article. It's called "The Fable for Our Times," and I'd just like to read verbatim right from that article. He talks about Guido Calabrese, a federal judge and Yale professor, invented a little fable he has been telling law students for more than 3 decades. He tells the students to imagine a god coming forth to offer society a wondrous invention that would improve our everyday life in almost every way. It would allow people to spend more time with friends and family, see new places, and do jobs and otherwise things they could not do. But it would also come with a high cost. In exchange for bestowing this invention on society, a god would come down and choose 1,000 young men and women and strike them dead. So this gets very interesting, because Calabrese then asks his students, would you take the deal? Almost invariably, the students say no, because a life is a life. The professor then delivers the fable's lesson. What's the difference between this and the automobile? Okay, so he goes on to tell his students that in truth, The automobiles kill more than 1,000 young Americans each year. The total death toll hovers about 40,000 annually. We accept this toll almost unthinkably because vehicle crashes have always been a part of our lives. We can't fathom a world without them. So I think what David Leonhardt is trying to tell us in his article, and what Guido Calabrese is definitely saying in his article, is that certain things we have to learn to live with, and unfortunately, I think COVID-19 is going to be one of those things. It's great to know that over 100 million American adults have already been fully vaccinated, and hopefully, we're big believers here in science at Mancuso Show Management, and we're big believers in being cautious and getting vaccinated, and hopefully we will continue to get more and more people vaccinated, and more people will be able to get out and do all these things that improve everyday life, like in Guido's fable, seeing everybody and just a normal life. But even as we leave, even as we lead a normal life, it seems that COVID is going to be with us. So we do have to get to a point here where many things are opening up. We're starting to see a lot of green lights, with some of our venues. So I think we're going to have to live with that fable, and that COVID will be with us. Lives will be lost, and it's just going to be now a part of our lives. So I just wanted to make then a few announcements of what we have coming up in the 2021 calendar. Of course, one of the next things we're doing, June 10th through 12th, we're doing one of our Create DIY, online festivals. The Create DIY, as I mentioned before, pertains to a lot of different crafts and art that are not necessarily textile, but are in the textile. We do have quilting in it, but we have a lot of other items, and I've mentioned them, and it's something that you should really take a look at. There's several workshops. The focus on this is the workshops. There's no competition and no sponsors, that type of thing. It's a very focused online workshop to improve skills that very much relate to the textile arts, quilting and the textile arts. So make sure you take a look at that at quiltfest.com. Now the next event that we would have coming up on our 2021 calendar would be World Quilt New England, which was scheduled last year to take place in Springfield, Massachusetts. This year, the dates are August 12th through 14th. The August 12th through 14th dates in Springfield are still up in the air. I'm sorry, I can't make a firm announcement on it. Governor Charlie Baker in Massachusetts, they're saying that he's going to open up the state without restrictions the 1st of August. So that's a little tight to when we do our show. If we do go ahead and do the show, the main focus is going to be on shopping and quilt exhibits. Of course, there's no World Quilt Competition this year because we need months and months to do that for around the world with our coordinators all around the world. So there's no World Quilt Competition, but we think we will be able to get some World Quilt exhibits, some international exhibits to put up there. So again, if we go ahead with that show, and that'll be shortly announced, the focus will be on, maybe there'll be a few workshops, and the rest of the workshops will be online. So we're also going to be very hybrid as we step back into doing on-site shows. Okay, the next show after that, this is good news. We have a green light on this. Is the Pennsylvania National Quilt Extravaganza, and the Pennsylvania National Quilt Extravaganza, which is held in the Philadelphia Expo Center, is scheduled for September 16th through 19th. This show's a go. We're ready to go with this. God willing that nothing terrible happens, because remember what I've said, the virus rules the day. But this show's a definitely go for on site. There's going to be plenty of shopping. There's going to be plenty of exhibits. There will be competition. Again, there'll be a limited number of workshops and seminars. And again, coupled with this show, We will have virtual activities. We'll have virtual demonstrations. We'll have virtual workshops. So keep in mind. So we're very happy to announce that. The next one is another tricky one, the Pacific International Quilt Festival, which is scheduled for October 14th through 17th. The Pacific International Quilt Festival is looking very good. At this point, we have a green light. The Santa Clara Convention Center is proposing that they open their doors October 1st. Once again, a very close date. But we're anticipating having a show, an on-site live show, at the Santa Clara Convention Center coming up in October. And again, I'm going to say the same thing. We're going to have a great competition there, as we always do. Plenty of shopping, like we always do, and special exhibits. Again, the workshops will be limited to a certain number, and we will be offering virtual. The last show that's in our 2021 calendar is the Quilt and Sewing Fest of New Jersey. Now, the Quilt and Sewing Fest of New Jersey is not scheduled to, I believe we have, let's see where we are here, November 17th through 20th. So we have a little bit of time on that, but we're expecting a total green light on that. And again, we're going to be easing into these shows. I do want to tell you, all of us here are very cautious. Our main concern is everyone's health and well-being. And even if certain government authorities decide that they're going to, lift different mandates, that doesn't mean as private companies we can't keep some of those mandates. So we probably very much will be going ahead, particularly with our first on-site show, with some not forced social distancing, but probably some face mask use is probably going to be mandatory, and we'll have plenty of hand cleaners and things like that on the show. But we do have to tell you that we're moving ahead, but we're moving ahead safely. And so, of course, the first show in 2022 is the Mid-Atlantic Quilt Festival, the end of February, and that is a total green light, of course, too. So let's all hope that this virus, like I say, unfortunately with that fable, we know it's going to still be with us a little bit, but let's hope that it's not going to disrupt our everyday lives, and that everybody is cautious and everybody's optimistic, and we get out there and we get to be with each other again. Now, a lot of people have said, please don't stop the virtual workshops, don't stop the virtual shows, and we're not. We're going to mix some in. So you're going to see a little hybrid, like I say, and you're going to probably see a couple of more virtual shows. So we've learned, I've personally learned more in the last 10 months than the last 30 years. It's amazing what technology has done, how we can change things, how to be creative. And just like the quilters are creative, we're trying to be creative here with our management company. So we're really looking forward to seeing everybody again in person or online. Okay, so with that, I'm going to leave a few more things. I just want to tell you that that we do have we are going to extend the hours and the days of this show. We're going to leave this show open online all the way to May 31st. For your shopping, for viewing the quilts, we're just going to keep it up there, and definitely for shopping. Please support those vendors; they really need it. And so we're doing that. And then I like to thank a few other people. I particularly want to thank my sons, who I missed them the last time. My son, Jared Mancuso, who's down in Phoenix, Arizona, is the producer of everything you're looking at. He's on my screen, but you can't see him. And so he's done a wonderful job with this. Our website and some of our films, like the film of the vacation, Eric's vacation, and down in the islands with the Visual 4 award ceremony. That's my son Ryan. He's a videographer, which, by the way, Jared is a professional musician. So we have a lot of talent here. We also had Michael Merchanti, who did a wonderful job here at Mancuso Show Management. He's always reaching out to the vendors to try to help the vendors and put things together. And also with Mancuso Show Management here, we had Eric Wagner. And I know we bombard everyone with a lot of emails, but Eric Wagner is our graphic designer. So all of those emails are coming from Eric. So I hope I've covered everyone. It's certainly been it's a lot of work, and it takes a lot of people. And I don't want to also, who's done a tremendous amount of work, totally takes care of all of the workshops, takes care of several of the online interviews, and that's Diana Mercuri. So I don't want to leave her out either, because this is what I do when I do thank yous, and then I get in trouble. So I think I've covered everyone, and of course we thank you for tuning in and putting up with us. Okay, hope to see everybody soon. Take care.